Today's creativity timeout is all about art journaling with collage. Well, hello, I'm Alex, and today I want to share with you some of my creativity for life tips. In this series, we'll use coloring and art journaling to immerse ourselves in play. And as you play alongside me, I'll share with you some of my mindset tips. You see, I love mixing playful art making with powerful mindset ideas, and I think you'll love it too. Think of me as your personal trainer to get your creative mojo back on track. The way I see it, you can't have inner growth without creativity. One insightful moment of creative play can dissolve years of resistance, giving you newfound energy. The fun you have with your creative side spills over into all parts of your life, and igniting your creative spark, it gives you fresh eyes to try new things and make meaningful changes in your life. This is your creativity timeout, baby. Go ahead, check it out. Hello. Today I've prepared another art journaling with collage video for you. We're continuing with the accordion book format. I've got a video for you to show you how to make this accordion book out of envelopes. Super easy. So check out that video. In just a few minutes you could make yourself one of these. And I've already created one video about collaging with this format, and now I'm going to expand on it. So I thought I would try something new, because in the description of my videos you always find the prompt and the materials needed. You find all the instructions, right? Well, because this is about art journaling, so it's not just about the making side, it's also about the journaling side. I've actually listed out 6 steps as prompts, so I'm being a little more thorough here because there's more involved. So I thought I would just start with the 6 steps immediately. I usually jump in and tell you what materials to grab, but today we're going to start with step 1, which is to get centered. So put your hand on your heart, take a few nice, long, deep, relaxing breaths, and just center yourself. And then step 2 would be to make sure you have all your materials at the ready. You might want a pen or some markers, a glue stick, scissors, some scrap paper so your table doesn't get dirty, and of course you're going to need your accordion book. And then step 3 is to tune into how you're feeling right now. What would your self-portrait look like if you were to use fodder bits in different colors and shapes to create a composition? So, my fodder, which I think I forgot to mention. Of course, if you're going to be making collage, you need some fodder. And if you don't have a little envelope or a big envelope full of bits because you're not in the habit of making collage, you can use magazines. You can just grab random pages out of your magazine and start cutting them down into smaller bits. The more colors you have, the better, but it would even work if you were just doing black and white. Okay, so how am I feeling? Well, in the last video I did, I had basically finished this collage. I only added 2 more bits to it. And then I decided I would give the collage a title and a voice. And this is what I ended up writing. I ended up calling it Tricky. I also mentioned that a nice way to start when you're doing collage is to, like when you're dedicating a journal, or in this case an accordion book, to fill it with collage, a nice thing to do is to put a random bit on each page just so that you're not leaving it blank. That's totally optional, but I love starting that way. Okay, so if step 3 is to tune into how you're feeling and to think about making a collage based on that, step 4 is to actually create the collage. Now, what happens if you've already created the collage? Do you have to think about the feeling first? And the answer is no. In the last video I did, I also shared this accordion book made by a friend of mine where she basically decided to express different feelings on each page. So she didn't start with how she was feeling necessarily, even though I think she did start with the happy one. But then she went and said, this is anger, this is calm, this is excited, this is sad. And then you can come in and then afterwards decide what it's called and think of what it's telling you. So I'm just showing you this to say that sometimes you make a collage based on a feeling you want to project, and then you turn it over and do your journaling, and you give it a title, and then you give it a voice. Hers is called Sad Day, and she says when you feel sad you can always go up, which is what this collage made her think of, because there's space at the top and things seem to be climbing up, so there's always a way to get out of that feeling. So you're tuning into your intuition, and you're just looking at what you created and you're letting it speak to you. So it can be what you're feeling, it can be also something you've projected just to get going, and then you let it bring things up for you, even though you weren't thinking about those things maybe when you made them. And you can actually fill your whole accordion book with collage by simply going in, and you keep adding bits and bits and bits every time you spend 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, on collaging. You just keep filling it up until you're happy that each page has the composition you like. And then when you're completely done, you go back and you start giving each collage a name, and you might decide that for this particular one the direction is different. So you just write based on the direction you're giving your collage. So you don't even have to be worried about later deciding to turn it upside down. That happens a lot. So this is like one of my favorites here, this guy, which ended up being called Party, and that was the title that came up for my friend. And then she said, be electric. That was what her collage was telling her, be electric. So she made this thing just using her fodder, and then looking at it, she thought, oh my goodness, there's somebody dancing here. This could even be a disco ball. This could be like a stage, right? So it's just amazing what comes up. You're not thinking about these things when you're doing them. You're just letting yourself make something. You're going by shapes and colors, and by the format, which is not too big here. But step 5 would be to just to tune in how you're feeling again, or to tune into the feeling that this collage is projecting, and give it a title, give it a voice. Does it have a message for you? Or simply do some free writing. Well, step 6, after you've done all that, would be to grab all your stuff, put it in a box or an envelope so that it's at the ready, and decide when you're going to come back and keep working on your collages. So it is important to set yourself up for the next time, so that when the next time comes around, because you've set an alarm or you've written it in your schedule, all you have to do is grab those supplies, sit down 15 minutes, and you get another play break to boost your energy. Alrighty, what are we going to do today? Well, this guy is from the last video, and I actually started to, the other day, spent 15 minutes making this collage. So, as you can see, I started this accordion book by putting a piece on each page. Then I went ahead and completed one, and now I'm completing the other. So, I'm not sure this is 100% done, but I could go ahead and grab a pen and do my journaling bit. So we're going back to step 3. I'm tuning into how I'm feeling, is this a self-portrait, or is it something I've just projected? Is it how I'm feeling, or am I just playing around with shapes and colors and just seeing what happens and then later figuring out what it means? I'm gonna grab red for this one. So the longer I look at this one, the more I think it looks like a bird sitting on an egg. I don't know why, but I think this is an egg. And if I were to collage and I really wanted to look like a bird, I guess I could give her a little beak. I don't know if I have any orange. Oh, I guess it doesn't need to be orange. Maybe I could give her a little... I guess if she had a beak, she would really look like... This would really look like a bird here. Or maybe like this. And what I'm wondering is, what would I call this? What can I call this composition here? It's funny because I have all these triangular shapes over here, so it kind of feels weird. Maybe putting it here. There you go. I'm good with that. I'm gonna go ahead and glue that down. And I think with just that one little addition, I feel like maybe now this guy's done. Okay. So I feel like I have this bird-like creature sitting on an egg, and there's these triangular shapes over here that seem to... Maybe they're like flags blowing in the wind, I'm not sure. There's something that's coming down here like a hook, but it could be something that gives you perspective, like something you look into, in which case I should have put her beak over here. But anyway, what could this be called? And what's coming to mind is something about having perspective, but also waiting, like gestating ideas maybe. So, I don't know, I could call it so many things, but what's popping into my head right now is, so the back side of this is where I want to write, and if I wanted it to be like this, then I would write this way, but I'm looking at it this way. So the back side is here. I think I'm going to call it point of view. That's my title. Point of view. So this is step 5, where I'm just with gentle curiosity looking at what I created. I'm not judging it, just seeing what comes up for me. I'm giving it a title. Now, if it has a voice, does it have a message for me? I think now I'm going back to this idea of waiting. So there's perspective for me, point of view, something happening over here which seems important because of the triangles. But she seems to be stubbornly sitting on this egg, or staying put somehow. She looks like she's staying put. And there's stuff going on. So I think she's telling me to trust in my own path. Trust in my own path. So I grabbed this paper with these colored scribbles on it, and I thought maybe I can make something go like this. So not only is she like on her own path, but her path is curvy, whereas there's all these triangular shapes over here. So I don't know if I'm going to go like this. So I thought I would basically I'm just making 2 arc shapes and then seeing if I can't place one on either side of the egg and seeing if I'm happy with that. So I think I like it this way. I don't know, maybe it needs to come off the page. Is it going like this? Or is it going like this? It's so funny, you can just grab 2 bits and just mess around until it feels right. So I could also go like this, but then it almost looks like her egg is being held over there. I don't know, that seems weird. I think I'm liking this. And for whatever reason, I'm wanting to trim this. Okay. So yeah. I'm liking this. I think I'm just gonna glue it down. So you can see how writing about it made me think of how to finish it. Even though it was obvious to me that here in the bottom there was a lot of space and that I might want to put something, it was the writing the word path that made me think of coming up with some arcs here that I could use. And I'm still not sure. Maybe it's like that. It's so funny, if I do that, it looks like wings. Okay, I'm going back to what I originally thought, and this is obviously going to come off the page here. So that's another thing I really love to do. I love to glue things down and then trim. I hope you had fun taking this tiny playwright with me. And I want you to remember that there's always a way to bring more creative play into your life. And as long as you can play, as long as you can stay curious and try new things, you're never ever stuck. You just need to give yourself permission to play. Okay, I've got lots more ideas for you here on my YouTube channel. So subscribe, stay tuned, and come and play with me. Come back and gift yourself a little make stuff feel good energy. Thank you so much for being here, and sparkle.